गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. We are in Kathopanishad in the second part, first chapter, and here we are looking at the Hiranyagarbha Sthiti, which is none other than Brahmaji, which again in the last week's verse was called as Prana. Hiranyagarbha Sthiti is where all possibilities are in the unmanifest state, the entire cosmos in the unmanifest state, and when it does become manifest, the Hiranyagarbha Sthiti continues. Don't think linearly that first it was in the unmanifest state, now it has become manifest. No, the reality is continuous. Reality does not become manifest and unmanifest. Reality is continuous. And there first it was told that see, these are the ways by which our notions about creation and our angle of looking at everything in a linear way is being broken. So first it was told it is the golden womb, Hiranyagarbha. Hiranya means golden, Garbha is womb, is the golden womb in which all possibilities exist. Then it was, and there it was told it is before the whole creation even came about. Now here we are talking about linearly. Before the creation means after that only creation came about. We will think in this manner, isn't it? And that was told in the where are we? It was told यः पूर्वं तपसो जातम् अद्भ्य पूर्वमजायत गुहां प्रविश्य तिष्ठन्तं यो भूतेभिर्व्यपश्यत एतद्वै तत्. And here it was told that Brahman, he who is born out of tapas of what? Tapas of Brahmaji, and he is the firstborn. He is in the beginning, and beginning means what? Beginning means he is the Hiranyagarbha or Brahmaji. He is even before the five great elements came into existence. See, that is what is told. So now don't think that he has a form. We go and look for, oh, where is Brahmaji? Oh, there is one temple in Pushkar, one temple in South India, one temple somewhere else in the world, in India. We are not looking at that Brahmaji. We are looking at that Brahmaji as told here. And what is the next one? So he is the firstborn. He is born before even the five elements had come into existence. And after having the five elements come into existence, now five elements, when they come into existence, they are in the subtle form, then they take the gross form. The subtle form is called the tanmatras, gross form is the elements, bhuta. Just like dream is the subtle form, waking is the gross form. Similarly, the five elements also. Don't you see five elements in your dream? Space, air, fire, water, earth. So when and can they exist independent of each other, the five elements? So when we see these five elements, they are always together. Maybe one is more, the other is less, depending upon the grossification. And what does this? So what happens to the Hiranyagarbha once the five elements are born? After it enters and settles in their heart. Now you will say, oh, it entered. How it entered? Like I entered the room, like I landed into Melbourne. Is that how I entered Melbourne? Through the plane. So he entered. It's an entryless entry. Did you build the house and then the space entered the house? How is it? Is space equal to bricks and mortar, or the wood in Australia, and plasterboard and roof tiles? See? So, just like the space entered into the house once it was built, what is it? Entryless entry. Exactly the same way. Once the five elements came about, the Hiranyagarbha or Brahmaji, he entered into them. See? Then the next verse told, where are we? And the one who knows it in this manner, such is a wise man, etad vaitata. Then the next verse, in the seventh verse, ya pranena sambhavati aditir devatamayi guham pravishya tishthantim ya bhute bhirvyajayata etad vaitata. Ya pranena sambhavati. The whole life in this creation is possible only because of the pranas. What pranas? Another name for prana is the life. What is life? Hiranyagarbha is the life. Without him, so is any form on this, in this cosmos, possible without space? Think. We don't give a second thought for the space. But is any form possible without space? Exactly the same way. Here, prana is the Hiranyagarbha and Sambhavati Aditir Devatamai. And this Hiranyagarbha, which alone, when it expresses through the Pancha Mahabhut as life, it is called prana. You may call it that way. And the one who knows etad vaitata, this is that. What is this is that? That reality we are talking about, which is other than the righteous and unrighteousness, anyatra dharmat, that reality, when it is known in this manner, that the life which is expressing even through this equipment or in this whole, all other equipments or the whole cosmos, is that Hiranyagarbha, is that the firstborn, it is that intelligent being. Tell me, I'm just working, trying to think how I can apply it in my life, to think, is this only a theory or is it a practical, a, 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 a knowable principle in my daily living? When I wake up in the morning, meaning when you are deep asleep and suddenly you become aware that you are awake, the world hasn't entered into your mind. The five elements have not entered into your mind. The time has not entered into your mind. The objective world, the finite world, the variety of the world has not entered into your mind. You are awake, mind is blank. It has still not got triggered. It has still not got triggered. But you are awake. And thereafter, you may become aware of the empty space of the mind. Then you may become aware of of your form lying in the bed, of your surroundings. Slowly, 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 within few seconds, the whole world becomes available. So is it that the whole world is entering into you, or is it that as the mind is getting activated, because that is its nature, sattva, rajas, tamas was sleep, now it is getting activated? Can a dead person's mind get activated? No. Only a living person's mind can get activated, isn't it? And you are alive. And the mind, we think in our wrong conclusion that the world was already there when I woke up. But the scriptures are saying, look at it differently. You are the source, you are the crux, you are the center. You as the Hiranyagarbha, you as the consciousness, you as the pranas. But if you consider yourself to be the body, then okay, the life was there before you became aware of the body, didn't it? Isn't it true? Before you became aware of your body, when you got up, life was still throbbing, life was still there, you were alive. Recognize that life principle is not one per body, it is all that there is. It is one and in and through every element, it is one in and through every subtle aspect of the creation, it is in and through or in the center of every being, and whether it is humans, animals, birds, reptiles, whatever, mosquito, amoeba. The one who becomes aware of this is a wise person. Etadvai tata. And now, in the next verse, अरण्योर्निहितो जातवेदा गर्भ इव सुभृतो गर्भिणीभिः दिवे दिवे ईड्यो जागृवद्भिः हविष्मद्भिर्मनुष्येभिरग्निः. In the 8th verse, it is told that the example, Garbha iva subhruto garbhini bihi, just as a woman who is carrying a fetus, carrying a baby in her stomach, continues to move around and continues to nourish it, continues to take care of it, continues to think about it, continues to nurture it, even while doing everything. Exactly the same way, the Aranyor Nihito Jataveda. Jataveda is another name for fire. Similarly, this fire, the Aranyor, so here it is. Aranyor Nihito Jataveda. Similarly, this fire which is inherent within the wood, meaning this fire is inherent within us. Is there fire within a matchstick? It is there, isn't it? Is there electricity behind the bulb, behind the fridge, behind the fan, behind the heater? It is there. Can you see the fire? Can you see the electricity? No, you can see expression of electricity. But could the light or any the fan, etc., would it be possible without that electricity? Exactly the same way. In the wood also, just as the fire is inherent, it is hidden in a matchstick, it requires friction in order to come out, in order to become visible, in order to manifest. Friction is required. Same way, the example taken here is there is two sticks, not wet, dry ones. And when those two sticks are rubbed together, friction, then you put some cotton wool, and that heat, that fire which is generated, the cotton wool gets fire, and that fire is used for the various pujas, etc. That is called Jataveda. It is the purest form of fire. And when they here use the example of Aranya or Nihito, it is I think last week I did explain, there is 2 cups of wood and a single stick in between, and the top one person holds the top, and with the string, that central stick is pulled, turned around, and as the heat is generated between the lower bowl and the stick where they meet together, then the cotton wool or dry grass is put there and it catches the fire. That is the purest Agni. See, and in the same way, here it is told that so what is this? 2 bowls of wood and the stick in between, and you are rubbing and pulling and pushing and pulling and pushing the rope. Just as in the matchstick, the inherent fire has to be awakened by friction, just as the heat or fire within the wood has to be awakened by the continuous friction motion. Similarly, we need to awaken the fire within. For that, man does many things. Man does fasting, invoke the fire. Foolish ones, they invoke the fire by becoming angry. There is something called Jataragni. The Jataragni is the fire behind the navel. This is the source of all energy. That energy here, or dive dive idyo jagravad bihi havishmat bhir manushye bhir agnihi. And here he says that the full, in very simple terms, did we do the bhashya for this? I think we have done it. But foolish people invoke this Agni, invoke this fire by thinking it is outside them. How do they invoke the fire? I gave you example, anger, etc. People invoke this fire. When do you sweat? By going to gym. You are invoking that fire. Going to pilgrimage, you are invoking that fire. Working hard in your life, you are invoking that fire. But why you are invoking that fire? You want to look good, you want to feel good, you want to build your muscles. You want to achieve, you want to feel the satisfaction that I did the pilgrimage and the blessings of the Lord will be upon me. What is the presumption? God is outside. If that is the presumption, then the whole process will keep you in the loop of the relativity. Yet there are others. Every day in the morning they are called Agnihotras. Every day in the morning after bath, the first thing they do is invoke the fire and chant the various mantras. But it has just become a ritual. Nothing more but a ritual. And they think they have done the job, that this is the Vedic culture. In the Rig Veda, this is how it was told, how to invoke the fire, and we are invoking the fire. But for what purpose? What is the idea behind it? You want to burn the whole world or what? With that small little fire. What does it represent? What is the significance? So you have become awakened to the fire which was invoked by rubbing the sticks. Then what? Then chanted the mantras. Then what? But the wise men, they become awakened. They become awakened, or they awaken the fire within. When you invoke the fire outside or awaken the fire outside, it will burn you. How does it burn us? Till today, desire is also a fire, you can say. You invoke the energy, you run after the world. Every day you go to sleep, replenish the energy, get up in the morning, run after the world. What have we achieved till today? Has the running after the world stopped? Has some moment was revealed in our life that, hey, it's enough? Did it come? Did we come to realize that running after the world on a daily basis after a replenishment over the night, I am just caught up in a pattern? I'm just running after that which can never be caught. The world keeps slipping away out of my fingers. I keep running after food, but every 4 or 5 hours I'm hungry again. I keep running after the world, I get exhausted every night. But it doesn't dawn on us that all this energy that is waiting to be awakened or we need to be awakened to see. What is to see? That are we utilizing this energy in the outside world in which there are no permanent solutions, no permanent answers, or we have awakened to this fire within, and we keep contemplating on it and keep looking at it and keep nourishing it so that it is able to burn away all the impurities. This is called the Vaishwanara Agni. Remember in the first chapter, Yamraj, when he saw the dispassion and clarity of Nachiketa, when he was not tempted by the wealth of the world, he was not tempted by the goodies that he presented. He said, I'll make you the master, I'll give you the girls, I'll give you the palaces, I'll give you the gold, I'll give you every lordship over the entire creation. He was not interested. He was not interested. And pleased by his student, the Lord of Death, Yamraj, he renames the Vaishwanara Agni. So Jatharagni is here, and Vaishwanara is the total fire. He renamed it as Nachiketa Agni, the Nachiketa fire. The total fire renamed as Nachiketa fire. So if we are clear, if we are convinced, if listening to this Upanishad we have become we have absolute clarity that we are also having a Nachiketa within, and we are also seeking anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat krita anyatra bhutat bhavyacha. If we are seeking that which is other than right or righteous or unrighteous, we are seeking that which is other than doing and not doing, we are seeking that which is other than past or future. The student asks the teacher, please tell me as you see it right now. Don't come from your memory. Don't come from your knowledge. I want to know what you are seeing right now. If that is our goal, then have we come to this assessment in our life that the pursuit of the outside world is never ever going to satisfy us? Temporarily, certainly. Permanently, never. How can the finite world ever give you an experience of infinity? How can it? How can impermanent can give you the experience of permanency? How can the changing, which is the world, give you the abidance in the changeless? Not possible. This, we as a seeker have to work it out in our life. Once and for all, not again and again. Once and for all. Automatically the direction of life will change. Just now I was in India, in Bangalore. Someone took me to a young sannyasi in Mysore. And he was running a lot of classes, Vishnu Sahasranam, Devi Sahasranam, Durga Saptashati, many chantings. 2,000 people used to gather and they used to chant together and do the pujas and Ram Sita Kalyanam, etc., etc. But when the COVID came, everything went online and he started enjoying this peace and tranquility of his own company. He decided, this is what the whole purpose of my life. I need to abide in myself. Why am I getting lost in the world? Till today, God has also not been able to fix the world. And I am trying to fix the world by Vishnu Sahasranam, Puja, etc., etc. Giving lectures. And he started, he will take 1 month lectures and 2 months break. 1 month lectures and 2 months break. Naturally, it was coming to him. And it went to a point where he started avoiding people. Then it led to someone giving him a house in the outskirts of Mysore, on the foothills of Chamunda Hills, on the other side of the Chamunda Hills. And for kilometers, there is nobody around living. Only maybe small villages there. And when I met him, it was Ram Navami day. I told you, I think, about this person. And on that day, he says, Swamiji, from today, I am taking Kshetra Sannyas. Kshetra Sannyas, I will not go out of this gate of this house for the rest of my life. What is this? A realization. What is happening? From extrovertedness to introvertedness. Is as we are growing older, as we are maturing, as we have become fathers and grandfathers and great-grandfathers and mothers, so I should not forget mothers. What is maturity? Is maturity to remember and enjoy the playfulness of the child, grandchild, great-grandchild, and remember all the recipes that you have learned over your lifetime? Remember all the places that you have visited in your lifetime? Recount how from nobody to what you have become today? Is that maturity? Maturity are these verses. Etadvaitata. Every verse which is saying etadvaitata, if our lifestyle, our disposition, our attention has brought us to this point where any one of these verses is clicking, or clicking meaning we have become awakened to these principles that are functioning within us, not outside, within. The Hiranyagarbha, the Ishwar, the Parabrahma, Paramatma is within, is sitting in our heart. The Ishvara, the God principle, the unmanifest, attributeless, he is sitting in our heart. The next, the Hiranyagarbha, he is sitting in our heart. The pranas, they are sitting in our heart. Those pranas alone express as or infuse the five senses, without which the five senses cannot function. But who is that infuser? Where is our attention? We appreciate all this when we see it in a movie. There's a movie going on inside. You are this body is a part of that movie. You are considering yourself to be the projected form on the screen. On the screen of the mind. See? The wave is already water. If it thinks I am water only in this wave, initially it is a conviction. That's how we are approaching life, that I have to be in meditation, meaning I have to catch the consciousness by sitting in meditation. The wave says, I have to catch the consciousness within myself. But that's the beginning. The moment it becomes available to the water within the wave becomes available to the water within itself. Once it has become one with the water completely, then what is the nature of water? What is the nature of water? Infinite, we go into meditation with a hook that I am still the body. That is called Jada Samadhi. And what the teacher here, Yamraj, is telling, if I am standing here, I know water is infinite. Infinite waters with total conditionings are called ocean. And infinite waters with individual conditioning is called wave. So what is the Upanishad telling us? Consciousness is infinite. Consciousness with total conditioning is called Brahma or the Hiranyagarbha. And that Hiranyagarbha or Brahma alone, he is the first one. And he alone is expressing through every wave. The ocean alone is expressing through every wave. He is just dissecting it a bit further to make you understand. But actually nothing like this is happening. Water is water. But because we want answers, we want to make it complicated, then and when complicated thing, we start with complication and this is so, actually there is nothing like this. Then we feel, oh, we have achieved something. Our intellect complicates everything. So, wherever the wave goes, when the wave came into creation, was there water before it? Yes. Was the ocean before it? if you take ocean as Hiranyagarbha, was it before it? Yes. Wherever the wave goes, does the ocean go with it? Yes. Wherever you go, is Hiranyagarbha or Pranas or Ishvara or the infinite reality? Wherever you go, is it there? Yes. Wherever you go, does the world come with you? No. If you are intelligent, where you should put your attention? Where we should put our attention? To that which does not come with us? No, no, I want that also to come with me. I want to die with it. I want to die with my bricks and mortar. I want to die with my money in the account. Look around. Why don't you focus? Bring your attention to that which has never left us. In fact, that which is you. And who are the wise? Why? Etadvaitava. This is that. This is that on that which the wise men contemplate upon. They do not contemplate upon the world. They contemplate upon the Hiranyagarbha, which is expressing as life within them. They contemplate on the fire. What is that fire? What is that tapas? What is that? They don't awaken the fire to pursue the world. They awaken the fire to destroy all impurities, annihilate all impurities, so that they can be who they have always been, but are not recognizing at this moment. I can't invoke the fire in a matchstick by rubbing it against water. So here the fire is the Nachiketa fire at a very gross level. You have to be awakened that there are no answers in the world, and no answers are required in the conscious principle. Therefore, I must be the conscious principle. When I look at the world, I should not think that I am at the mercy of the world. No. By invoking this Nachiketa Agni, we'll move to the next level. Because we are the teacher Yamraj here is from the top, he is bringing us down and showing every aspect of creation is pervaded by that. So by invoking the fire, what do you understand as a result of purification? That one pranas, that one Hiranyagarbha alone is expressing through the entire creation. He alone is sitting in the heart of every being. This is maturity. This is wisdom. We are seeing it, that everyone is alive, but our attention is never on life. Our attention is on bodies. Our attention is on relationships. Our attention is on past memories. Our attention is on future expectations. But our attention is never on life. Life is Hiranyagarbha. Pranas, another name for Hiranyagarbha. When that one expresses through many, he is called Prana. When that one goes and sits in the heart of the five elements, he is called Prana. He is the soul of everything and being. Has our attention gone to this? or any free moment we are twiddling our thumbs. Now my child is doing this, my daughter is doing this, I think she should have a baby by now, it's already time. Oh, now I will teach tomorrow, I will spend the time with my friend in this manner, with my grandchild with this manner, with my children in this manner. But that moment where you are free, nothing to achieve, nowhere to go, instead of ruminating about things and beings connected to this body from the outside, it was a window of opportunity for us to contemplate on that which is expressing as life through this body. Etad vai tata. This is that on which the wise men contemplate. है ना मजेदार? Thank you for allowing me to contemplate. I'm just looking into I don't know what. It's just coming. Triggers. See. Don't pat on yourself on the back on what you have achieved in this world, in the outside. Important thing is, what have you achieved on the inside? Have we expanded ourselves? Isn't it a fact, I am repeating again, isn't it a fact that we have hardly any time on a daily basis ever thought about life, contemplated on what life is, contemplated on what the scope of life is, contemplated on where the life has come from? Have we ever even given ourselves an opportunity to think, maybe I am the source of life? Maybe I am life. Have we? We are too scared. We go after the familiar, the world. So just as the pregnant woman carries the child within her womb, we are carrying Hiranyagarbha with us. We are carrying that consciousness. We are carrying that life with us wherever we are, but never giving attention to it, never being it. This is the shortcoming. And those who are, they are the wise ones. We cannot live without it. We can live without the objects. Every night is your experience. You go to sleep, no objects come with you, yet you go to sleep, isn't it? Man is continuously carrying this being, the life, the Hiranyagarbha, with him, within. We all want to live, nobody wants to die. Some people want to die for it. Some people want to die for the truth. Satyameva jayate. Some people want to live for it, some people want to die for it, some people are ready to go through pain and trials and tribulations and sorrows for its sake. See? So Hiranyagarbha, the life, it is the infinite within us, expressing through us as life, that we are. Awaken yourself to that. Wake up. Uttishta jagrata prapya varanya bodhata. Remember the verse came in this Upanishad itself? Arise, awake, awake, arise. Every day you are arising. Every day you are awakened. But to what? You arise from the bed and you become awake to the world. Something needs to change. So in this manner, see, as long as we are pursuing wealth in the outside world, as long as we are pursuing the wealth in the outside world, till then the infinite wealth, till then the infinite wealth will never be available to us. Till we are living in the Kupa Manduka Vritti, till I am living like a frog in a well, I will never become available to the infinite waters of the ocean. Till I am living, this is my house, this is my wealth, this is my portfolio, this is my property, this is my children, this is my relationships, this is my body, these are my senses, these are my convictions, these are the rules by which I live, and it has made me successful in this life. Where is our attention when I make this whole list? Our attention is on the outside. Body is the wealth, health is the wealth, senses, good senses, healthy senses are the wealth, good intellect, thinking intellect, logical intellect, good emotions is the wealth, money is wealth, quality, various abilities are wealth. But as long as we are focused on this wealth, which is coming from outside, we are beggars, we are paupers. Actually, we have not achieved anything. Because as much as you may run after this world, it will never be equal to the infinite. Infinite number of finite things of this world is not equal to infinity. You heard this many times from many places. Yet this is exactly what we are pursuing. So what is to be done? vairagya. Give zeal, nothing wrong. If it is coming, let it come. But give zero importance and value to the outside. Food comes, eat. Required, no problem. But I will eat only this, I will not eat that. Now you are indulging. Now you are desiring. Now you are choosing. If consciousness is before the five great elements, if consciousness is before the creation as we know it, is it not intelligent conclusion that we must make ourselves one with that consciousness? That consciousness is all encompassing. That consciousness is not lacking in anything. That consciousness is complete. Then alone true contentment will come to this mind. Contemplating on that consciousness, being that consciousness. Which one? The universal consciousness, the cosmic consciousness, the Hiranyagarbha, which is complete. It supports the total creation of waking, dream, and deep sleep, but is not affected by it. And with regards to that, you have an experience. You have a creation, you experience in the dream, but you wake up and you awakened. You awakened to the waker and you gave zero value to the dream. You awaken to the universal consciousness, which is all encompassing. Automatically, zero value will be for this world. But what we want to do, we want to live in this world, continue to fulfill our desires, continue to pursue our attachments, and we want to be the universal consciousness. But we are never able to be, even though we are. Why? All those attachments, entanglements, they don't allow. To be the infinite waters, the wave has to give up its waveness. To be the universal consciousness, the individual consciousness has to be surrendered, given up. And what is individual consciousness? That consciousness which is attached to body, breath, mind, intellect. Simple formula. The total ocean at any given moment is expressing through the wave. Question is, the individual wave wants to be an individual on account of being attached to its form, or is it ready to give up its form and be one with the total ocean or the infinite waters? Exactly the same formula you have to apply on yourself. The consciousness that I am I the consciousness with reference to body, breath, mind, intellect? Remember, in Panchadashi we saw Gaunatma, Mithyatma and Mukhyatma. Here it is individual. We are not talking about Gaunatma also. We have just dropped that away. We have come to the principle of consciousness expressing through body. This is happening. You didn't create it. It's happening. What you created was that I am the body. Consciousness expressing through body is not a problem. But the consciousness accepting I am only this body is the problem. And when we transcend this, we come to the Hiranyagarbha disposition. Then what is it? I am the consciousness which is expressing through all the bodies. Wow. This is wisdom. This is wisdom. But we have to practice. We have to be that consciousness in this and contemplate in this manner about ourselves. We are moving from one consciousness to the other. We are continuously moving, and we know what it is to give up. We move from waking consciousness to dream consciousness to sleep consciousness to waking consciousness. Why don't you wake? Why don't you shift into total consciousness? Why the fear there? You are not afraid of giving up everything and going into the dream. You are not afraid to give up all the attachments and indulgences and desires of the waking and dream and go into deep sleep. Then why are we afraid to be the total? When that is the fact. It is not something that we are creating. It is the fact. The fact is water alone is expressing through every wave. Consciousness alone is expressing through every being. When consciousness is alone expressing through every being and the reference point is every being, it is called Hiranyagarbha or Pranas. But our life is only this body. That's where our misery is. So invoke this fire. We have to awaken ourselves to this and invoke this fire, the Agni, the Jata Veda that was told. Aranyor nihito Jata Veda. We have to invoke this fire. So just as the householders, they invoke the Agni, and what is that? It's the fivefold Agni through the rituals. Same way, a wise person invokes the life principle as the prana or prana, which is an expression of the Hiranyagarbha, or Hiranyagarbha with reference to the bodies is called the pranas. Etad vaitata, this is that. Continuing in our, did we do the bhashya for this one? Amma?
No, Swamiji.
So now I have gone in my own contemplation. Quickly read through it. Shouldn't be very complicated. यो यह अधियज्ञ उत्तराधरारणयोः निहितः स्थितः जातवेदा अग्निः पुनः सर्वहविषां भोक्ताध्यात्मं च योगिभिर्गर्भ इव गर्भिणीभिः अन्तर्वत्नीभिः अगर्हितान्नपानभोजनादिना यथा गर्भः सुभृतः सुष्ठु सम्यक् भृतः लोक इवेत्थमेव वर्त्वी अग्निर्योग्निभिश्च सुभृत इति एतत्. Again the same example when the one who invokes the fire through the arni, the two cups of wood up and down, and from with that fire he does the fire sacrifice, and comes to recognize that the entire havan or home, the fire sacrifice, what was the main? Everything was revolving around the fire. All the activities were to invoke the fire, to cultivate the fire, to offer to the fire, etc., etc. Similarly, just as here example is given, just as garbhini, just as a pregnant woman, and that they live a pure life, they live a life of constant attention and nurturing of that fetus and protect that fetus. Similarly, the one who invokes the fire, as well as here he says, yogi bhishcha sabhrata iti etat. So all those people, similarly, all those people who invoke the fire outside, or the yogis who invoke the fire within. And how do they invoke the fire outside? They invoke the fire through the various samidha, the wood, ghee, the butter, the clarified butter, etc. And the yogis, they invoke it. Here it says, kimcha dive ahanya hanidyah stutyah vandyascha karmibhir yogibih च अध्वरे हृदये च जागृवद्भिः जागरणशीलवद्भिः अप्रमत्तैः इति एतत्. And the yogis, how do they invoke this fire? By remaining awake, by making all the nidra, alasya, pramad, nidra, sleep, alasya, laziness, procrastination, pramad, the habitual repetition of mistakes, they give zero value to that. How do they overcome the nidra, alasya, pramad, which is the expression of tamas? How do the yogis come up? By remaining awake. They have awakened that all this is going to take me in the wrong direction. I need to recognize by invocation of, by waking, remember, awakening the fire. So he has become awakened to what? I must not succumb to sleep. I must not succumb to procrastination. I must not succumb to the world. I must not succumb to the needs of the body. I must not succumb to the thoughts in the mind. He has become awakened to that. Just like the one who is invoking the fire outside, he has become awakened to maintaining the fire bright and by continuously adding the ghee, continuously adding the wood, continuously adding the samagri, continuously remaining awake by chanting the mantras. Just as that pregnant mother. Same is this case here. And how does the yogi become and how here it says and that was the one who was invoking the fire outside, and the yogi who is invoking the fire inside. How does he do it? How does he invoke the fire? By doing dhyan. First was not succumbing, the other side is becoming available to the 114 115 here it says what iti etat 115 116 havishmat bihi आज्यादि भद्भिः ध्यान भावनावद्भिश्च मनुष्यैः अग्निः एतद्वैतत देव प्रकृतं ब्रह्मा. So the yogi, by both the one who is outside invoking the outside fire or the yogi who is invoking the fire within, he becomes the yogi within through the dhyana abhyas and becoming conscious that he must not succumb to the desires and needs of the body, etc. In this manner, he continues to cultivate his attention on the life principle. Just as the one invoking the fire outside, he continuously is putting the attention that the fire should be bright and lofty. There should be no smoke. Similarly, the yogi is also attentive that his attention is continuously on the higher one, and the one is the Prakrit Yajna. So both are Prakrit Yajna. One is doing the yajna outside on the fire. The yogi is doing yajna, invoking the Nachiketa Agni within himself in the body. So the body is also part of the Prakriti. But where is his attention? His attention is on the Hiranyagarbha Sthiti. His attention is on the life principle which is common for all beings. The one who is doing outside, what is the maximum he will reach? He will reach, if he remains objective in his approach, he will understand that Jata Veda, the fire, is the common element behind all forms. Space has got no form, air has got no form. The first form comes with the fire. So he comes to realize it. If he's focused, if his attention is there, his contemplation is on that, not just mechanically repeating repetition of the mantras. See. So such a fire is the Prakrit Brahma, meaning it is that it is the life force of the entire Prakriti, entire visible world, the cosmic, in other words, it's the cosmic consciousness. Etadvai tata tadeva prakrutam brahma. Certainly, he is the Prakrit Brahma. and this is only bhavana. You are a wife is only a bhavana. You are a mother is only a bhavana. You are rich is only a bhavana. You are poor is only a bhavana. You are waker, dreamer or sleeper is only a bhavana. So if everything is bhavana, then why don't you have a bhavana that I am the Hiranyagarbha? That the Hiranyagarbha is located in my heart and he is me. Tattvamasi. Why live minuscule, teeny-meeny, always looking over the shoulder? Someone is coming to kill me. Is it my time to go out of this creation? Am I going to die? This disease came, that disease came, COVID came. Continuously living in fear. And who are you? The one giving life to expressing his life through everything. Electricity has no fear if one bulb dies. It knows. It is expressing everywhere. Whether the electricity expresses as light or all the lights fuse, electricity is unaffected by both. But if the bulbs are there, it will express as light. If the fridge is there, it will express as a refrigeration. This is fearlessness. That thought came before. See. So choose wisely. That's what the Upanishads are. They are not even telling us to choose. They are declaring, you are that. Etadvaita, this is that. Whether you accept it or you don't, who cares? By your acceptance or non-acceptance, the truth does not change. By your acceptance, truth is not established. By your non-acceptance, the truth is not lost. Truth continues to be. It's the constant one. It is the only one. And if you want to be it, you have to put attention on it. You have to be it. You have to have the bhavana of it at the relative level. Because as long as you are relative, you have to think, you have to have bhavana, you have to have conviction. We'll leave it here and we'll look at the 9th verse in our next class. Just as that electricity expresses as light, refrigeration, heater, movement of the fan, etc., etc., etc. Similarly, this life principle expresses as vision, hearing ability, tasting ability, smelling ability, thinking ability, conviction ability, waking ability, dream ability, individual ability, God ability. Think differently, man. Think differently. And you are that. This is that reality. And where is its location? You are the location. Where? In the heart. Meaning the intellect. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.